You up, Tony?
Oh, what the
Are you okay?
fuck?
You're out for...
I just had a
Yeah,
really
like,
cool dream.
it's only like 10 minutes you were asleep.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm awake. Let's do this. Total. Oh, shit. Total. Oh, fuck.
There we go.
We gotta tighten that up next time. To be fair, that's the only time we fucked up. Usually we're pretty good with that.
Yeah, we're very good with that.
Ever
since the theme song was implemented.
And now that we have the theme song implemented, we are unstoppable, okay? This podcast is...
Off the rails.
Off
you
the
can't hold us back, baby.
This
Real
podcast...
quick.
What?
Can you crack a window for a minute?
This
It's getting a little sticky. Sorry, this podcast is off the rails or whatever. What are we talking about?
Ever since the theme song was implemented, it's gotten crazy.
We're like that one movie with Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. You
Total
know,
Recall?
No,
That is kind of like what it's
the
like.
remake, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Total Recall.
I never even put it together.
Oh,
you know?
it does sound like that, doesn't it? Total recap, total recall.
Kinda.
Oh, yeah.
Not completely.
No, yeah, it's just a little bit.
It's just a little bit, you know.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
Is that enough?
no,
Are
yeah,
you
I
not
just
sticky
needed-
anymore?
Yeah, it was getting a little muggy for a minute.
Muggy?
Okay.
It's a summer night still.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Speaking of summer nights, if you're watching this in like a July or June or something, I highly recommend that you pause
Turn
the
it off.
podcast from... Hey, no, don't turn it off. Just press pause. Go watch Bridge to Terabithia and then come back. Because what a great summertime movie. Maybe spring. Maybe like May or June.
I don't even know where
April.
to categorize
That's gotta
it.
Maybe
spring
April.
vibe.
Yeah,
Much
because
more
of the
spring than
the
summer.
heavy
And they're still in school.
the heavy
Not
rains
summer.
that killed the girl. It was heavy rains that took her life. So
This is gonna be very spoiler heavy if this wasn't already known by now.
yeah, I guess we should just let you know from now on. Like every podcast we do is gonna be spoiler heavy because we talk about the whole movie in the podcast.
And it's pretty much right out of the gate, so I mean,
yeah.
this shouldn't be a
Spoiler
question.
alert: Leslie's dead. It was yeah.
That's the only thing I remembered from this movie. The only thing.
I mean,
knew
that's
that
what
she
this movie's
died, and
remembered
that's
I
for
remember
in
it a
general.
lot less than I thought I did.
it. I didn't remember shit.
I thought
except
more
that
would
she
come
died.
back to me as I was watching it, but
I-
really it was just that painting scene and
Honestly,
Leslie
the
dying.
dad stuff, I kind of remember.
I do not remember that at all.
No.
I don't even remember.
I just remembered that there was tension and that the dad was like the serious
There's
asshole.
definitely
I honestly don't think if I ever watched this whole movie as a kid now and thinking about it, because I really don't remember. Like, I think
I definitely watched it, but I just didn't remember shit.
Because now I don't know. But I remember certain scenes. And, yeah, it was,
I'm completely just
I liked the movie.
Indifferent
fine.
completely. This was Tony's choice, by the way. If
I
you didn't-
chose it, and I liked it more than I thought I would like it, which is, I liked it a lot.
Okay, I'll give them this. The highs were
I guess not a
definitely-
lot, but I liked it.
The highs were definitely way higher than I thought they
the
were.
movie
gonna
got a
be.
lot better. Once she died, it's like, okay, they actually...
They actually tried.
I was expecting them not to pull off the death, just the way they were handling, like, the happy scenes.
Uh-huh.
The
I was
montages
like-
with all the
I
weird
thought
Avril Lavigne
I was like,
music.
oh, there's gonna be some stupid song or something, but there
No,
wasn't.
it was
And the
good for the
dialogue
most
for
part.
the death, I think the dialogue got a little better after she died. I liked.
I thought the movie kind of just dipped in the middle.
I thought it was
Not
okay in the
surprising.
beginning, and then it just started to get worse and worse. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I felt like there was just more lines that I'm just like, oof.
It takes too long to get good, and like, for some people watching this, they'll be like, okay, this is just gonna be some stupid kids movie, and they just stop watching it.
Yeah.
And then it does progress into something more, but it's too late, and it's just.
What I noticed from just from the beginning is the scenes get repetitive in the sense that they do the same shit. It's like it starts with a breakfast scene, right? And then it starts the breakfast scene. They go to school. There's a scene with the English teacher and the bully has to say something, and then it's music class, and then it's like I felt like it was just doing that for a while. And I get it, it's them going to school, but I felt like they could have gotten a little more creative as to just like what to have the shots be and what to like have the kids act. In the beginning, like they had like the race, like that was something.
That was also weird as shit.
It was
like
also
a first
weird.
day of school race. What was
That
that?
And they're
was weird. That
wearing
was
normal
weird.
clothes.
But still,
Like that's
did you...
what, it just felt like.
Yeah, was that after school? Was that during recess?
very
When was
weird.
that?
Yeah, they didn't really
It was during
specify.
recess. It was the scene. Yeah, every other scene before was in recess, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's a race.
Yeah.
It makes you think. Oh, I don't know. That
Yeah,
was
they
weird.
just kept doing that. Even in the beginning, like the opening scene is him running to the house, starting breakfast. He just like puts some eggs on his plate. He looks at an ant, and the next following scene is the next morning, them getting breakfast, doing the same thing again. I was just like, and then they just having the breakfast scene, and then it's like the music class scene, and then the bully in English class, and I don't know, they just kept doing that a lot. And that's why like the movie it just dragged a lot like for in the beginning and like, you know, near the beginning-ish part, because I felt like they just kept doing the same thing over and over again.
I don't know. I see what you're saying
It's
with like they
school,
use
and I
the
feel like you
same.
could get a
I get
little
what you're
more
saying. They
creative,
use
you
like the
know?
same environment all the time, but I think they didn't like. I don't know. I thought they did a decent job of like switching up what was going on and all that.
Yeah, no, that's what I was getting to. Is that like this movie is held together by just Josh
Hutcherson's
Hutcherson
talent.
and
Yeah.
What's her name?
Leslie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something Rob.
Greg, what's her name?
Something Rob.
You know, it's like
Anna.
Buca de Beppo.
Yeah.
Anna Buca de Beppo. Anna de Sophia Rob.
Anna Joba Rob.
Anna Dosofia Rob.
And Sophia Bush.
Anna Sophia
Sophia
Rob.
Bush.
There you go. No, he's got it. Though. Not Bush. Anna Sophia Rob. Yeah, no. This movie is held together by them because, like, when I look at this movie outside of them, everything is just so boring and just
those two
drags
characters-
so much. But like, they make this entire movie work.
And they feel real, where
Yeah.
every other like kid character, even some of the adults, just feel
A lot of
like
the adults.
caricatures. Like they don't feel
Yeah.
real. Like the artsy
Yeah.
dad, and it's just so like
I hated that guy.
that was terrible. And the
Leslie's
dancing.
parents were the worst actors that I saw in
Well,
this
to be
movie.
fair, how much was her mom really in it? Like, what did her mom even?
Yeah.
do?
No,
but,
Leslie's
like-
mom.
But it's
But
just
like just in
I
that
couldn't even picture her
isolated
face
moment,
right
they
now.
were the worst actors, dude. Like they got like the dialogue. That
I'm
they
gonna
got,
disagree
but,
with
like,
you here. I think Leslie's dad was a piece of shit. I don't think he was a very good actor at
Yeah,
all. Leslie's
but no,
mom.
her
I mean,
mom was-
what could she have done in that scene, like acting wise, that would have
Yeah,
made it
she was
good? Like in the
barely in
scene,
it.
like
Giving
she's
her
just in a
lines
dancing
really,
scene.
really shittily.
I think
don't
she maybe
remember.
said one line. I don't think
Yeah,
she
I-
had
Yeah, I bet
lines.
you-
I don't
but,
think
like,
it was plural.
That in amalgamation with that entire scene, it was just
yeah,
crap.
the parents.
I think the scene was bad. I don't think Leslie's mom's acting was bad.
yeah,
No, the few
I
times,
think that-
the few times that she
The,
had
the
this, she
one
was not
time she
good.
said something.
But like that is what all
I
she
think
had,
that's
right? And she did
there's
not
a
do
lot
good there.
There's a lot.
Dude, yeah, if you get one, like, if you have one line in this movie, in, like, a kid's movie, there's no chance it's gonna be like, oh, that was amazing. If you have one fucking line in any kid's movie, how are you gonna wow people with your
There's a lot
acting?
wrong
I'm not
with the
expecting her to
parents,
wow
but I
her,
don't
but
think
I'm
the
just
mom's
saying-
acting is the main thing that's like.
Yeah, I don't think it's the acting. I think it's the character, just
And the way it's-
idea of these people.
And
I
the
don't
way
know, it
it's
was the way-
directed.
even though they had shitty dialogue, like it was the way you're giving the dialogue.
Well, the
still.
directing and the music is really.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
the
That's true, that's
director's
true.
decision to make it this weird.
Okay, that is
dancing.
okay.
That's
Like,
what really
to
made
sum
it.
it up, that entire scene was just ass. Like
Terrible.
the second he stepped into that house, it was awful.
Doesn't feel real. They just feel it's so
They're like
ridiculous.
the most perfect parents, most
yeah,
perfect
it's like,
little. Yeah.
and that's what that it does subtract from like the death and all the serious moments is because it's so ridiculous before that that when
Yeah.
it gets real, it's like wait,
I felt
what?
like her dad was always just really weird, and he had more light than the mom did, and he was not good.
I think
Even after the death, like I said, after the death happened, the way that some of these adults and some of these characters and the lines that they had, I was just not feeling it.
this
And especially the dad, like at the funeral, I was not really feeling that. Because he kept stumbling, that's right. He was just like, oh yeah, she had someone that like, she loved, and then he goes into like...
It was
how
choppy.
It was choppy and weird. I'm like, oh... It just took me out of it. So many of those characters after the death were taking me out of it.
Yeah, dude, if they got, like... Oh, man, I'm just thinking, like, this movie could have been, like, really, really good if they did get, like, really good supporting actors and just, like,
Yeah, and a
tweak the
good
dialogue. Yeah, like...
this had the potential to be like an Oscar kind of movie.
No,
if
yeah,
you
like
did
a
it
kids
right.
movie that's like legit, like has real heart and like serious.
Like if you
themes
did
and all
it
that.
really well, but it's just the music, the soundtrack choices.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part of the movie. Actually, is the soundtrack.
Yeah, the
That's really
and the
bad.
director is just it makes it into some just cheesy Disney, but it could have been so much more.
Seriously.
It could have been
Yeah,
a
dude, it
really.
could've been-
Conceptually, on paper, like, this could have been something.
If you got some good actors too,
And,
like
and
you got
I'll
some,
give them props. They did make a lot of good choices, like not overblowing the CGI like they always want to do
Yeah, it
in
was
these, like,
subtle.
kids movies. And like with the whole topic with imagination and these kids acting it out and stuff, like they could have easily went that
That
route.
is like probably one of my
They could've
favorite parts of the
easily
movie.
went that route and they didn't. I'm like, it's Disney and they did this. Wow, back in the 2000s.
See,
what?
I think is impressive, I think it's good. It's like no movie does this. It's like really cool. It's like, yeah, a lot of the conflict in the movies, like when they're fighting in Terabithia, they're fighting all these monsters. You know, like you know that these are like fake monsters and everything, but it's you're still like in the fight scene. It's still like kind of cool.
It's
Like,
choreographed and like
and it's kind of cool because it's like, oh, these kids are just like running around like fake punching shit in the forest, but like there's actually all these little wolves coming at them and like these fire hawks.
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
choreography, like the
Like,
CGI, and even the
Yeah.
sound. And I was like mainly noticing the sound, like the way they just like did those like action scenes where it just made it pop because like the music and the tension that it was creating with just the sound alone.
Yeah, it really brought you back. Like you could really tell, like, oh, like these are just kids like having fun in the woods. Like it really captured that
You
very
never took
well.
it too seriously, but
Yeah.
at the same time you were in it. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like recycled garbage or anything.
yeah, those are the
No, yeah,
best
they
scenes
did
in the
that
movie.
well.
That's
Yeah, and most other kids like movies and shit when they're fighting things like that, it's like actual monsters that are like from some other world and thing. It's like I think this is just a cool little twist that it's like, no, we're not trying to fool you. Like these are not real monsters. These are just kids fucking around. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's
Definitely, yeah.
And that, along with just, Jay Hutch and
Yeah, man.
Leslie, it was just perfect.
yeah. No, round of applause for that because they
Seriously.
really did well.
All that together
They
was
carried
the
it.
core of this movie.
That yes, I think that was the
together
idea.
was the core, and that worked. Everything else didn't. Everything else pissed me off. It
my
was just really
biggest-
frustrating how some of the things just went about.
I really did not expect. I knew Zooey Deschanel was in this, but I thought
was
I thought her
easily my
part
least
would be
favorite.
so much better. Like I was actually very
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah,
how
Oh.
shitty
she
it
was
was.
kind of underwhelming.
She
I-
has so much charisma and everything, and like she was fine for like
But she didn't really have a character.
she
Yeah.
didn't, but like she fit that like teacher,
She was nice.
charismatic, attractive, like because Jay Hutch was like drooling over her. Like she fit that role, but oh man, when they tried to give her more like involvement,
What the fuck?
it was easily
That was the worst. Okay, that was
easily
also
the worst
one of the worst
part.
scenes.
the worst
When
part.
she calls him and they hang out and go
And
on a
he's like,
date.
hey,
On
I was
Saturday?
supposed to take my nephew to the museum, but like he can't. So like I just had this like idea.
That seemed so made up. It seemed like
Yeah,
she
what
was
the
gonna go with him from the beginning. She just needed some way to make it.
So I just had this idea. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was
you're not fooling
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then
Zoe.
it's like they're at the museum and then they're like, having coffee afterwards. Like, what the
Fuck, did we
fuck?
forget that this is
A child?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like this is your sixth
that
grade
was-
And then she
student?
just drops him off, and like I see what they were doing. They wanted Jay Hutch to be away so Leslie could die, and they needed some way
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, dude.
And the brainiacs in that room just
See,
decided to do this.
see, that's what I was disappointed with. Is I remember as a kid, I remember it being cool, like what they did there.
No.
But watching it this
No,
time, dude,
not at
it
all.
was
so forced.
Nothing
yeah,
took me-
exactly. It's just forced is the perfect word. It was like, are you fucking kidding
They
me? This
really-
is
As
ridiculous.
shitty as some of the dialogue was, as
Remember
shitty as some of these
dude,
characters
And the
were,
writers know this. They know they had trouble
Nothing
coming out
took
with
me
this.
out of the
It was so
movie.
obvious.
Yeah.
Like they
yeah,
said
you
clearly.
guys know. You fucking know.
nothing took me out of the
clearly
movie
knew.
more than that.
Yeah,
At
that scene was
point-
unreal.
At that point, I'm like,
That wasn't part of the plan.
That-
I thought
it-
Zoe and
oh.
I thought Leslie and Jess got in like a fight or something. I didn't know it was just he
That
went on a
would've been
field.
good.
That's what I thought it was.
That
like,
would've been
that's
simple,
What, that's
and
what I
it
was
would've worked.
expecting. And that's what I thought it was gonna be even more like heartbreaking. Obviously, 'cause it's like, oh fuck, like they got in a fight and then she dies.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's what I that's what I like remember as a kid. But so that's what I was expecting going in this. Like the whole time I'm watching, I'm like they're like having fun and shit. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so sad when they get in a fight, and they don't. He just goes on a field trip with his hot teacher.
there's so many simpler.
And was he
there's so
mad
many
at her?
smarter ways to
Zooey
do it.
Deschanel?
and like they didn't do it.
Jess?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, kinda.
When?
thought he
like
wa-
after she died?
I took that
At
as
the
he was
funeral,
mad at her.
remember? He was like, "Oh,
that
next
was
time."
weird.
See, seriously, that entire thing is just. It took me out. Even him saying that line, it took me out. He's like, next time maybe we should invite Leslie. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
It seemed like he was mad at her.
makes no
Like, why didn't you
sense.
invite Leslie? So you could have saved her. It's like,
No. I think he was blaming himself because like I think he also felt guilty it wasn't because he just like didn't invite her. I think it's because like he obviously is like has a boner for this teacher. So like a big reason why he didn't invite her is because he wanted to spend like one-on-one time with this teacher. So I think that adds to why he feels guilty for like not inviting her. He wasn't mad at the teacher for not inviting
I don't know.
Leslie.
The way he said
Well,
that line.
either way-
No, I completely disagree.
either way-
Greg, didn't you get that vibe?
Yes.
See,
I
I got
know,
that
I
vibe too.
completely disagree.
but now I think
Even at the end, is that the kid? There's a whole scene where he's like, "It's my fault. It's my fault."
Yeah,
He's not like it's Miss.
I
Whatever's
think
fault.
I think you're right, but the dialogue, the scene is bad enough where it makes you think that, but I think you are right.
Yeah,
and I think
okay.
unintentionally that's what it came off as.
Because that does make more sense, but that was the vibe I was getting.
that was
It was
definitely
also
the
they
vibe,
were like
but-
doing the weird thing where
The,
like
the line itself was awful. The line
yeah,
itself
no,
was
that
bad.
shouldn't that shouldn't have been
That was
in the
a really
movie.
shitty
I'm
line.
not saying the line should have been in the movie. Let's make that very clear. That was weird. She didn't even, he didn't even have to see her at the funeral. That like she was just.
Ugh.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking to Sasha about. My biggest complaint about the movie is just that after she dies, like I think they could have done so much. I think they tried to do way too much shit. They had like so many supporting characters, and yeah, like I was saying, they each had like a different like role in like a different part of a theme. And like it was just way too much shoved in. Like I hate when movies do that. Movies are so much better when they just like have. I think we talked about this on Willy Wonka or some shit, but like movies are so much better when they just have like very few supporting characters and develop them all very well.
Yes.
And like each one contributes into the theme in their own way. But when they have like you have like 8 of
feels
them, it's like
organic
what am I
then.
like I'm getting like 5 minutes about how imagination's good. Like it's not meaningful when it's like divvied up that much. When it's split into like 8 different ways, it doesn't mean anything.
Like,
That's
not
the thing
powerful.
about these movies. And that's the thing about like Disney and just like these big budget PG, blockbuster type releases
Sucking
that
fucks.
Disney comes out. It's like they try to pander so much. They try to pander
reach a little
so
bit of
much, and they
everyone.
try to reach a little bit of everyone. Try to do a little bit of
that's what
everything.
this movie. That's the big downfall. Is that for this movie?
It's-
That's
what I'm saying. That's my
They
biggest
do that
complaint.
shit. Yeah,
That is
The
my biggest
script and
complaint.
it's just I don't know. It's just the Disney formula, I guess. Conceptually and on paper, this had so much potential.
I would also like more like I don't know, more of a vision, like more like style to it.
There wasn't, because you know why? They
I
had
know
to
what you're
fill it
saying.
in.
Yeah.
They had to fill it in with just junk.
Yeah, it's
Like
that it-
Tony was saying, like with these like too many themes and too many things that they're trying to shove down your
Focus on
throat.
like 2 or 1, not literally like 5.
Yeah, like they chose the tone of like a cheesy Lifetime movie when it could have been like on the caliber of like E.T. or something, or even more than that. Mm-hmm. But like it's not like E.T. E.T. didn't have like cheesy '80s songs going. That would have ruined it.
This could have been as good as Jumanji. The more I think
Yes,
about it,
this could have been better than
This could have
Jumanji.
beat
this had
Jumanji,
all
yeah.
the same elements that Jumanji
We should
had.
say that about every movie too.
This could have been better than Jumanji. If they buckled down and really
Think
worked
about it,
hard.
like from a
Shawshank
concept
Redemption,
standpoint,
it could-
it's the same way, It's the same kind of thing, except the child actors were even better in this.
and
and
100 times
Yeah,
better
That's
than Jumanji.
why.
kids.
That's why I'm like, this easily could have been like better, if not as good as Jumanji. Man.
Yeah.
But they couldn't, because they had to pander. They had to. Oh my God! Have awful jokes and awful dialogue and.
There weren't that many jokes though.
Yeah, there weren't. It was just the.
It wasn't like
dialogue
it was always trying to be funny and it was falling flat. Like there were maybe a couple jokes, but I feel like they weren't.
I
making
felt like
jokes a
okay,
lot.
maybe jokes is a bad word. It's just like punchy lines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like
what you
little
mean.
quippy things that the
Yeah,
kids are saying.
maybe jokes is a bad.
that's-
Yeah,
no, that's fair.
those punchy lines. Those were the moments where I'm just like, oh.
You
And
guys,
those are the moments that took me out of it.
you guys gotta watch the Florida Project. That movie has the
Oh,
best.
you've recommended that to me.
It's
before,
it's kind of like a day in the life kind of thing where there's not really a strict plot for a while, but it's like these kind of like these poor kids that live in like a hotel, but it's like an apartment and it's like a motel kind of thing, but people like live there, and it's just kind of it's kind of like their life around them is actually kind of similar to Terabithia, but much more toned down, where their life is kind of shitty and like her mom's she's like becomes a prostitute and like, but it's through the kids' point of view and it's so like light-hearted and they're just oblivious to all the shit going around in them.
Yeah.
And the kid actors are like fucking, they're like the little girl, like the little sister's age, but they're like mostly it's mostly like improv, and they just kind of talk and it's just like, these kids I can't recommend enough. It's crazy.
Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on child actors? Comment down below. I hate them.
I mean,
for the most part, I hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard to be good at. It's hard to be good at a skill when you're a child. There's no child professional athletes for a reason. There shouldn't be child actors.
Yeah, that's why I don't like. It's like you can't get mad at them for it because they're a kid, you know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's fucking.
It's like it's just like can't really blame them. It's not.
It's like and it's like you need in movies sometimes you need a kid. So.
Yeah,
you do. You need to.
I think it's.
I guess I never expect a child actor to be good, so I'm never disappointed. Yeah,
but
it's always a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, but
I know like. If there are like kids and if they get a little too much dialogue, a little too much of a role, my enjoyment for the movie already starts to just dip right then and there because the dialogue and just the way they're doing it, it's just not good. It's just not good. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, but I agree, and I also think a big part of it is the dialogue. Like I think it's rare for a child actor to be in a movie. Be bad at acting but have like good dialogue, I feel like a lot of the times like they have bad acting and their dialogue's bad, like it's so it like makes it even worse.
True.
Or or like directors will kind of like and like if there has to be a kid in the movie, they do it in like a way where it doesn't require them to do a lot of acting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't try and
they're there to fill a purpose.
They don't give them too hard of scenes where they're like the emotional like they're more in the background.
Yeah, and that's fine then.
But it's always a risk.
Because acting is hard, and you're a kid and you expect him to like be on that level.
Yeah,
it's just
that is
work.
insane.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, like little Annie in episode 1, like people ruined his life. Seriously, it's like his story is so depressing because fucking terrible Star Wars fans were so cruel to this poor kid.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like that's like a fucking baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you ruined your memory of Darth Vader. He's 9 years old.
Yeah, this is a child. You're fucking 30, dude.
This is so horrible.
That's an example. Oh man.
That kid's got. I think that's the kid actor that's got it the worst.
Yeah, geez, the more I think about it.
It's just so sad. You
Because all
probably
those
think he was
prequels
probably
came
so
out.
excited to get that role.
Yeah.
And now I
Getting
probably
that
wishes he never
terrible.
got it.
Yeah, it's so.
Because it's hard to get that kind of hate,
Yeah. So messed up.
So sad.
Although there is this movie isn't really it doesn't hold up. It's not that good, but it's like about like these it's called Fanboys. It's a really stupid title, but like it's set in the 90s and it's like Star Wars just nerds go to steal the episode 1 to see it first, and
Why do I feel like I've seen this?
maybe I used to love it, but it doesn't really hold up. But Seth Rogen has a cameo in it.
Oh, okay.
And he's got like a tattoo of Jar Jar Binks and little Anakin like side by side.
Dude, this sounds
He's like,
so-
this is gonna be the shit.
This sounds so familiar. When did this come out?
Like, I don't know, 10 years ago.
I've seen it on TV or something. This just sounds. So
I always
familiar.
remember that scene.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite. Like, just go. Yeah, it's off topic.
No, we were talking about child actors.
Oh,
that
yeah.
fit.
The little girl was good.
She was. Good.
Oh yeah, the little sister.
She was really good.
Mabel.
Her crying was very good. Like whenever she cried, I was like, damn. She's
Yeah, like
really
this is actually like a
good
little
at
girl crying.
that. Yeah, that felt really real. So she was.
Oh, yeah, kid acting. We got to talk about kid chemistry. How have we not talked about this? These
You
kids.
talk about kid chemistry.
These kids had the best chemistry I've ever seen between two kids in a movie.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they were really.
Jess and Leslie,
Yeah,
like
they got them right. You know.
Yeah, I think it's also just a byproduct of the fact that good kid acting is so rare. That the fact that had to have two good kid actors on screen at the same time, that's even more rare. And then to have two good kid actors on the screen at the same time who have good chemistry with one another. Lightning in a bottle. I think it's just this movie.
I think
I don't know about that.
What I think is it's just the fact that it's just so rare that two good kid actors are just side by side in a movie.
Okay, I just said
that. Like no, let me finish. That the odds of like you couldn't even let the chemistry have a chance because that itself has never happened before. So I don't think it's necessarily that like these two came together and then the chemistry just like out of luck happened, like, you know, just so well. I think it's just the fact that like
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like a chance thing. It's like the fact that there's like so many like barriers that are like you have to cross that are so hard that like to get kid chemistry together. Because like yeah, like you said, like there could be a good kid actor and like there could be like kid actors out there right now who like would have good chemistry if they're on screen, but they're not going to be on screen together ever just because it's like so hard to get two good kid actors on screen together just because they're so rare.
I don't think it's as rare as you think though.
Name another movie.
Name another movie where there's two good kid actors.
And I'll leave. I'll go home right now.
But I think the Stranger Things kids originally had a really good chemistry.
Get that shit out of here.
No, just because you didn't like. Come on, you know they had.
I'm kidding. No, they were good kid actors. Yeah.
I don't think you guys
Never
saw
seen
it.
it.
But it was really
saw
good. It was recently like the Shazam. Those kids had good.
I've never seen it.
Split. Those actors.
Oh, they were like teenagers.
Yeah,
they
were
were
awful.
teens.
I didn't like them.
Yeah, I mean I don't.
Yeah, I mean.
Fine. They were just like regular
like
teen
the main
actors,
girl was your average kind of like.
Yeah.
She was. I mean, she was definitely. Actually, I kind of like.
Okay,
her,
the main wasn't great, but she was fine.
I actually really like.
But the rest of them, her friends and stuff.
Well, they weren't even really her
they
friends.
They were just people who they had to invite her to a birthday party.
But they were kind of supposed to be. You know?
True.
They were supposed to be dumb
and that's why they died.
They were really dumb.
And then and it was good contrast because like the main girl was she was really smart. You know, I think she.
Yeah, she was.
She had that weird history. With her uncle.
You can say she got molested, Greg. Jesus Christ. We're not going to make people fucking watch Split. She gets molested, guys.
I wasn't actually sure exactly what happened to her.
Yeah, she got raped by her big uncle.
Yeah.
Her big
What's so
uncle.
funny about that, Greg? She got raped by her uncle.
Shut up.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a piece of shit.
Goonies, they had good chemistry.
Yeah, but that was a match, man. That was created.
Okay, Tony, I know. This is immediately gonna just. Sandlot.
Oh, definitely.
They were good.
You're
right.
What did you expect his reaction to be?
Yeah, that's what took me back for a minute. I was like,
was he supposed to agree or be angry?
Yeah. I was really.
No, I'm just like that kind of crumbles. That kind of breaks. That kind of breaks the theory that we had.
No, yeah, you're right. And that's crazy too because it's like fucking 9 kids. Like that's holy shit.
Holy crap! And they had chemistry. I mean,
I guess the thing is that was weird about this movie is that it was just like 2 kids, you know?
Yeah.
Because you said like Goonies, Sandlot, it's like a group of kids, and it's like okay, this group of kids is cool.
Yeah, they
but it's
play
like
off each
this
other,
is just
true.
like it's like 2 little kids and they're have like a good one-on-one rapport.
Yeah, you know what it is.
And they have their own progression too. I mean.
This is the only 2-person.
Yeah.
And I think it is easier if you're in a group to have.
Jumanji has that, but the second actor is so forgettable.
Yeah, I don't.
Kirsten Dunst is good, but
yeah,
the
no,
other
I
one
wouldn't
is so
say they had
forgettable.
good chemistry. Kirsten Dunst and the Monkey Boy.
They were fine. You could believe that they were brothers.
That should have been what the movie was called.
Kirsten Dunst and the Monkey Boy.
That's the original title for Spider-Man.
That's funny.
The Monkey Boy.
Yeah, I like I
Monkey
said
Boy.
because Josh Hutcherson and Leslie
Deserves a crown.
No, okay, yeah.
You know,
Because they're the core of this movie.
Wait, hold on. Greg was gonna say something.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I don't think the Oscars.
You're spitting all over me.
The Oscars pissed me off because I don't think they should be statues. I think they should have their own crowns.
That would be cool. With real jewels.
It'd be expensive, but I think it'd be worth it.
I would tax. I would pay for that with taxes.
Just tone down on the set design for Jesus. For fuck's sake, it's ridiculous.
Okay, I don't want to talk about the Oscars. Just get some crowns. I don't want to talk about the Oscars.
Wow, very quick.
I wanted you to get that in, and I don't want to cut it there.
You're right.
I
could go on and on.
It's crazy how, you know what? I want to come back to the Oscars.
You have a lot to say.
I want to.
No, I don't want to come back to the Oscars.
No, I have something to say about the Oscars.
Fuck what you have to say about the Oscars.
They should be with crowns.
Back. Yes. Back. That is all I have to say.
Hey, back to Terabithia here.
That's a sequel. You mean the sequel? Dude, we're doing Bridge to Terabithia. Calm down.
No, because Jay Hutch and...
Are we in Terabithia yet? Starring Ice Cube and Josh Hutcherson.
That movie would be fucking awesome.
But no, because...
It's a crossover movie.
Josh Hutcherson and then all his kids, and he feels so out of place. Sorry, Josh.
Because Jay Hutch and Leslie are the core of the movie, there's not anything else to talk about outside of them because there really isn't anything else.
Well, there is, but it's just there's too many people that none of them have any value.
The bullies.
Exactly.
Bullies.
Oh, I think bullies were stereotypical dumbs, like just
funny.
very school.
They were good in the beginning.
No, the best part about they weren't really in it after the beginning, but the best part about the bullies was the fact definitely that music class thing is when
that was hilarious.
Yeah, they had like Sasha said they had music class every day where like the teacher singing a song, playing guitar, and this looked like paradise music class because all the kids were into it, singing along, dancing, grooving, except for Josh Hutcherson. He would always be bummed out about something, and then the bullies would fuck.
Do you see it?
No, I just don't like possums.
That thing was huge.
I don't see it.
Was it white?
I mean, I could just see its silhouette. It was just walking in the middle.
Let it get in the greenhouse.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't a possum,
His daddy will kill it.
All right, Tony.
Oh, yeah, in music class, everyone's jamming out, but Josh Hutcherson would always be bummed out, but the bullies were always, like, jamming out. They were, like, singing, they had rhythm. It was a nice change for once. You never see that. Bullies are always so anti-music, and it's nice to see, like, hey, you can be a bully and still like the guitar.
But the scene that really, I was like, all right, this was when the bully was making fun of his dead.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna get to. It's like they were good. The bullies were good in the beginning and like a good part of the middle, just because
they were funny. I don't think
for entertainment value. Yeah, for entertainment value, they were
realistic.
good. But like by the end. They're such caricatures and such stereotypes.
Because they don't change at all,
and they stay the same throughout the entire movie. And that, like, by the time it got to the end and after the death happened, they just got annoying. And it's just another, like, I guess, minor supporting character that was pissing me off after she died because they just kept saying shit that would take me out of the movie and take me out of the just emotional feel that I was getting with Jay Hutch here.
Yeah, when that
they
stuff
were a
was
clear
going
example
down,
of it, too.
When
they were pissing me off by the end.
When it got serious, then they felt super out of place.
Oh. You're right.
They weren't in that much, but when they were, it was like, okay, this is not the movie.
But like even as simple as like after the girl died, like them still like pushing him like in the hallway.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
what?
they must have pushed him down the hallway at least 9 times that movie.
Like,
and at
why?
that point, I'm like, why?
And
what's the point of this?
It's only him. They're only mean to him.
Yeah, it's weird.
That doesn't make sense.
Like she
it's
died.
Weird. He's just a random kid.
No one bullies like that. And it's not only like they're just mean to this kid, but they like sit outside of school and wait for him to show up. There he is. And then they like go to knock him down. Like they look for him. They hunt this kid.
And there's nothing about him that's really to make fun of.
He draws in class.
That's it.
He's the bully's kid. I mean,
he runs.
When he's not with
Leslie.
I'll say he's really boring. I like him with Leslie. I think that's when he gets interesting.
But that's when his character develops. That's why.
But
he's got as a kid who draws.
Yeah, there really isn't anything
and then
to
Leslie
him.
Brings him out.
So him getting bullied. There's nothing to make fun of. Like it was just. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
That just felt so fucking. That was.
Yeah, just like the main character always has to be bullied.
Yeah,
no matter
some Disney
what.
Channel bullshit. It was just.
Like if he's gonna be bullied, give him a reason to get bullied. You know, at least give him glasses at the very fucking least.
And it's just way more sympathetic. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense why you get bullied.
Yeah.
By the end, it just didn't make sense to me because it's like, oh, we're going through the shit with, Jay Hutch. And they're just swooping down the hallway doing the same thing that they did in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what's the point of this?
Yeah,
like,
they didn't seem like child actors. Like, in that movie, they just seemed like forces of nature because they literally didn't change. They always did the same thing. Like, throughout the movie, they were completely unchanging. They were always knocking him down and just, there he is.
Yeah, they 100% felt the least real.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Oh, and that was real
alert.
annoying.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
annoying most of the time.
That was like such a
Oh, God.
uncreative way to do
Beep, beep,
bullying.
beep, beep,
It's my
beep.
loser
That's my
detector.
loser. Yeah, Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
you writers didn't even fucking try with that shit. And you guys are what? You really pissed me off. I hate
You writers, we're gonna find you. Your credit names are on the
Writers.
credits.
And
you
then
I don't
idiots.
think movies should have writers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Yeah, the reason why, like, there's nothing
Pictures.
else to the movie outside of Jay
know what
Hutch
that
and
means.
Leslie is because the writers didn't try, dude.
No, you didn't.
They
fucking
didn't try. They did not try.
You guys are lazy. You think you can
You
just
hacks?
come in
Oh
here
my
and just
God.
collect your paycheck every Friday and then go talk it out later and shit. You guys just want to hang out.
Let's have him spat
on
with
your
his dad.
beanbag
Let's have a couple
chairs.
scenes where he spats with his dad.
I bet you guys didn't even want to write the script. You're like, let's just do the book.
Let's just have
Let's
some
just film
scenes
the
where
book.
he's
Yeah,
doing the music teacher.
movie writers.
And let's just like throw this shit together and let's just see if it works.
I'm gonna look up these writers. I'm
Hit list.
okay. No. We're joking.
Ruined Terabithia.
Oh, ruin is a strong word because, as I said previously, overall, I enjoyed this movie.
Overall, very indifferent.
I had fun watching it with you guys, but
Oh, thanks, Greg.
but yeah, I don't think I'd ever really watch this, like when I'm.
I think
free
there's
time.
parts that worked, and I think there's parts that are really stupid and that just really completely brought this movie down. And for that reason, I'm
I think
I'm
why I
right
don't-
in the middle. I don't know what to
Yeah.
think about this movie.
I think the reason I don't like it is because it had so much potential,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it just
yeah.
could have been something real special.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think. I think it fell short of that.
I do think it was like, especially compared to like a lot of kids movies, like I guess only compared to kids movies, it was very like, there were parts that were very stereotypical, very cliche, but there were also just like a bunch of little things that were pretty unique. I thought
Exactly.
That's what
I
I'm talking- yeah,
liked
that's-
that.
it-
Yeah.
it-
Oozes potential.
Yeah.
It had something.
I think that's another thing that I
It's
really
because
like
the
about the
concept,
movie.
it just by itself, is so good.
Yeah.
That like it just had to work.
But
at least a
even like
little bit.
avoiding like the
Yeah,
main
that's very
storyline, just
good.
some like little things they did was just like weird choices that I really liked. Like, I think all those little choices really, I liked them a lot, and I think that's part. Yeah, that I really liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, just a shame. That's my review.
Yeah, a shame.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this. The bridge, him making that bridge,
That was ridiculous.
beautiful,
The most
like
insane
well constructed
bridge I've ever
bridge
seen.
in like
I was
like a
like,
couple days.
ooh.
He's like, yeah, can I have some lumber that you're leaving behind at your old house that because you're not coming back? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I swear to God, he builds this thing in like
Very quickly.
in like 3 scenes, like three shots.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was really weird. Yeah, what's your guys' rating for this?
This is tough. I don't know. 5.
No, I'm gonna give it a 6.
I'm giving a
Solid 6.
smack right in the 5 zone.
Yeah.
5, dead middle.
Definitely not 7 worthy, but definitely a 6.
Yeah, this.
A lot of good moments, but a lot of bad that just kept bringing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Oscars. What the hell happened to them?
No, we're not fucking talking about the Oscars.
I remember
Well, now
back
we
in
kinda finished talking about the
2015,
movie.
2016.
I did not want to talk about the Oscars.
I would
'cause of
follow the
Bridge to
Oscars
Terabithia.
because like they would always suggest me good ass movies, and the Oscars were good then, dude. The Oscars even then, like
I don't know if they were good.
no, they were good. The best, like at least the nominees, they were always spot on every single year. I swear to God. And like the best pictures, like you understood where they were coming from, and it completely made sense. And then now, like, just in the performance and like like the people that they have on, that's gone to complete crap. And like them like
I think that the hosts.
okay, Jimmy Kimmel. Oh
Yeah, no, I'm saying they're bad.
yeah.
I
But
think
it's gone especially bad.
Yeah, Chris Rock. I like.
It seems like I don't know what they're trying to do. And then like Black Panther got a Best Picture nod. What? Bohemian Rhapsody got a Best Picture nod. What?
Yeah.
It's like before, like they really stuck to the core of like movie fans and like, you know, just like really awarding like the movies that like, you know, have like the most value and stuff, and they did a really good job at it. Like the best actor, like you would always go to the right person. Then now it's just like
it's because there's an underlying Hollywood ooze that's seeping into every
coming
media
in.
outlet
It's
now, dude.
coming
And the
in,
Oscars
dude.
are just the next piece of land that
And
this
that was the
rising
one-
tide is taking
and the
over. I'm
Oscars, I
getting
always felt
sick
like
of
it
all
was
this
sacred.
bullshit.
Whoa.
no,
That
he's
was
got a
very well-
point.
that was like, damn. That,
Oh my God.
that was very like.
I can't even turn the TV on anymore. It's fucking insane.
'Cause the
Everything's been
Grammys-
taken over.
The Grammys have always been crap. They never.
I need more. Like I still don't really get what you mean exactly.
I know what he's saying.
Not even like it's the Oscars are just the next thing. It's not the
No,
the
he's
Oscars
right.
are not unique in any way. It's just that
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's the thing. Just
Seriously.
there's the media outlets now. They're all one. It's just a swarm now. Everything's amalgamated into one big like lava flow that's really just seeping into every little like late night shows and the Oscars and all
okay.
this
Now I
and
get
that.
what you mean.
Yeah,
And everything's just the same now. Nothing's different. Everything's the exact same.
And the thing is, I thought the Oscars were
Okay.
like one of the last things that was like sacred, because
get
the
what you
Grammys
mean.
are always crap. They never give it to like, you know, actual musicians. It's just whoever's making the most numbers. And like the Emmys do good, but then you like even then like
I
it
don't
starts to.
I don't think I've ever watched Emmys.
But still, like, it still blurs the lines a bit. And, like I said, Hollywood just spills in. But, like, the Oscars were always sacred. It's, like, film achievement. Like, you know, and they really scour, like, all these. They watch, like, every movie. Like, they scour everything, and they get, like, decisive decisions that just make sense. At least the nominees, they're always deserving. And now it's, like, you got Black Panther, and
Yeah,
you
it's
got
like, come
Bohemian
on.
Rhapsody, and I'm just so confused.
And it's also what
It was in the span of like a couple years, because I used to like follow it really well. 2015, 2016, like 2015 was like had all the Best Picture nods were fantastic. Watch it, like that was when like Whiplash and like Birdman, all that came out. I like loved every single movie there, and then now it's just becoming I don't understand.
And something that really pisses me off is with Bohemian Rhapsody, the director had like, you know, he was like a fucking turned out to be like a pedophile or something. There's like a lot of allegations against him, and seems like he's not a really good guy. And then, but it's nominated, and the director's nominated, but then the monologue, the opening monologues and stuff, they're acting all like woke. And like, you know, they're like, you know what I mean? Like they're acting so like politically like, you know, we're down with all these like, you know, horrible people. But then you do shit like that, and they're just not mentioning, but you're still doing the same shit. You're just now talking, you know, but it's like the actions aren't following what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why it's so annoying. That's why all this, like, it's completely fake, and it's just. That's what I really like. Even the nominations is stupid and stuff, but that's what really pisses me off about some of this stuff is that it's hypocritical. Like,
And you know what it
Exactly.
is?
Very
Yeah.
good.
You know what it is? This started, like, from, I think, when they were really getting bothered by the fact that, like, blockbuster movies or, like, you know, like, horror movies or, like, thrillers or something, like, they wouldn't get enough, like, recognition at the Oscars for not being, like, you know, valuable films or
greedy.
whatever. And it's, like, people were complaining about that. And I already thought that was bullshit, because it's like when you compare like these movies to like whatever movies that they were talking about, they weren't as good. So it's like they just wanted like them to agree with what they were saying or whatever. And because of that, they're so they feel like they're forced to just include, you know, more movies like, you know, from other, like, you know, what, like, you know, the audience is saying, and like, you know, how the, you know, the blockbusters are doing whatever. And I feel like they're just like like they're trying to pander. That's what's happening. They're trying to pander. They're trying to like appeal to more people. And it's like then they have like Fallon on, and like I've never watched the ceremony because I always thought the ceremonies were boring. But like now it's just become like just like all like
you mean like the monologue?
all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. Just the whole ceremony. Like
I sometimes
the people
watch
that they get and the host.
Now they've all been terrible.
Oh.
Ricky Gervais was really good. I remember there's like a montage of him just making fun of Mel Gibson to his face about all the like racist things he said. And it's like the best thing ever. And that's when that stuff is good. That stuff is, that's when it's roasting the...
But they won't do that anymore.
No, the Andy Samberg Golden Globes thing was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was so cringy and like, he was like, it was jokes about how awesome the celebrities are. Uh-huh. And it's like, that's not funny. That's not... Like, oh, look how fucking awesome Robert De Niro is. It's like, Sally Fields is so great. She's a queen. Sally Fields is a queen, all right? Get the fuck out of here.
Like, it's like they lost their backbone or something, honestly. Like, it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. Because before, like, people would say, like, oh, the
Nobody's
Oscars...
got any Twitch anymore.
No.
People were like...
People are watching Oscars on Twitch, but you don't have the Twitch.
No, everyone's so predictable now. Nobody's got any Twitch anymore, you know? Unpredictability in their veins.
Are like...
Everybody's just a piece of
I'd also
shit.
take James Franco and Anne Hathaway over these new hosts, because at least that was like entertaining to watch as a train wreck. Yeah. Sorry.
I've never seen an Oscar, but I'm just...
But, no, before... No. People would say, like, the Oscars are, like, pretentious or whatever, but at least, like, the Oscar... Like, even though people would
respect the Academy, man.
Can you hear me? Bro, can you fucking hear me out? Can you fucking hear me out for a second?
He's telling you to respect the Academy,
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to fucking say, but he's not letting me get it out there.
Let me help you say it. I respect the Academy. That's what...
The Academy... I would be
Shut the fuck up.
Just making sure.
No, people would say like the Oscars are pretentious and this and that, but it's because they care about like movies and film achievement.
Just because they care.
That's all
just
it is.
Like
but like
my parents.
Just because like they have like this opinion, like people don't like that, and they don't like that their movies aren't getting included. But it's just about film achievement, and it's just like. It's just that, and it was that, but now it's becoming not that, because it's like, oh, let's protect everyone's feelings, and like, you know, consider everybody, and consider this and that, and it's just like they're losing their backbone. They're losing what made the Oscars them, and yeah, it's just becoming like everything else. Mm-hmm. Everything else in the movie industry.
Talk shows. Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't, after this current, I feel like, I don't know, this current, like, roster of talk show hosts. After them, I don't think they're going to be around anymore.
Nope. I think it's a dying thing.
I really think, because I don't know. There's some
How
kid
is
being
Ellen
like,
still on?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's always
a different story, dude. That is something else entirely.
Don't come at me with Ellen, man.
It's daytime and people don't watch TV in the daytime, so
I feel
she
like
just
I always
gets by.
see Ellen at the dentist, so I associate her with tooth pain.
Oh yeah, she's a very dentist vibe.
Yeah, my dentist is always
the whole stage feels like a dentist office. I mean, a lot of blue and whites.
Yeah, dude. Literally, she's always on, my dentist.
I hate her. She's the worst.
I heard she is like mean off stage.
I can so see it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It makes complete.
She seems fake, but I wouldn't pay to put her.
I've heard she's like mean. A bitch.
I'd be more surprised if she wasn't a bitch, just because like that's got to take so much effort and energy to be like that all the time, every day, in front of millions of people. You're gonna be a bitch.
Like I knew she was fake, but I didn't think she was mean.
That's like hearing like Jimmy Fallon just like parties after every show and like is like and like drinks a lot and then then he like says whatever he wants. Like he just makes fun of all the.
Yeah, you gotta let that out if you're doing. that
like
all day.
Hearing that is like, oh, that makes complete sense because before that he's got I gotta fucking play ping pong with Robert Pattinson.
Like, he does have the weirdest job. He just plays like bar games with celebrities.
Yeah. Drinking games, but they're not drinking and they're in front of a studio audience.
I think Fallon gets more hate than he deserves.
I think he's
the best out of all those other garbage talk
He's
show
not
hosts.
better than Conan, dude. Are you
serious?
Yes.
Conan is genuinely very good.
Yeah,
Great
he's a very funny man.
But Kimmel is compared to Kimmel, he's a saint.
Oh, yeah.
He is so much better.
He's a saint.
Seriously, he is.
Kimmel is a sinner.
Kimmel is a sinner.
Kimmel knows what he's doing. Kimmel needs to.
That's the worst part, is that he knows exactly what he's.
Jon
exactly
Stewart
what he's
used to
doing.
be great, but he's
I
kind
guess.
of.
Is he still doing his thing?
No, he'll like
I
show up
think
on the
so.
Colbert, and Stephen Colbert just isn't it?
Ew,
Good.
ew. Stop. No. Colbert, no. We're done with that.
I've seen some clips, and it's just like what, like.
I don't know. All those shows where they're like, it's like just them at a desk. I don't fuck with that at all.
Yeah, I never
No.
liked them, but like now Colbert is disgusting.
Who else does that? Who else
Disgusting.
does the desk thing?
Well, Conan does it, but there's just an. It's
no,
just,
no, I don't mean having a desk. I mean like where it's like like the main camera angle is just them sitting at a desk. You know, what other shows do that?
I mean, Conan does that too with Andy, but it's
No, it was mainly just the Jon Stewart, and it was Colbert, and then Colbert went to.
Oh, you mean like
Just
Daily
those-
Show Colbert Report?
Yeah.
Trevor Noah, does that count?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
I was completely
Yeah, I don't like
I
misunderstanding.
hate Trevor Noah.
I don't like those shows.
I don't even really. Yeah.
I
Colbert
genuinely do not like
Colbert
most
Report
of them.
was really. That one.
No,
was a
Colbert
great
Report
one.
was fine, but now Colbert.
No.
Oh,
It's completely different.
God.
I thought
he has become like the rest of them.
it's just Donald Trump, Donald Trump every
Yeah,
single
I think
fucking
that's when it got
second.
really, really bad. Is when he got elected, and then every joke became the same thing.
Oh my
But
god!
it fit with Colbert. What pisses me off about like Kimmel is that like he doesn't have like that political background, but he still, it's like he just slips shit about Trump all the time. It's just like oh, now that we have Trump in office, now that we that like that's all he does, and Kimmel just doesn't do anything. At least Fallon interacts with the guests, and at least
Trump's
he's
election
doing something.
has just destroyed comedic creativity in terms
so
of talk shows.
fucking
There's none of it
That's
anymore.
the perfect
It's
sentence to
gone.
describe.
Yeah.
It's just it's really taken a.
It's like we can't even like look anywhere else for other material. It's just like this one big fucking vat that you have to take from.
And it's for ratings.
You can't make jokes about anything else.
Because
It's
Jimmy
fucking
Fallon
insane.
does
It's
it a
so
lot,
boring.
and it's clearly just because he clearly doesn't want to do that kind of stuff, but he's forced to in order to compete. And it's like,
But I respect him for that.
I guess.
You respect him for what?
For
being
not
forced.
doing,
Well, he
for
is.
not doing just like the same,
No, that's not what
Bullshit.
Greg said.
I'm
Wait, what
saying,
did you say?
well, he's
What?
forced into doing some of that
No,
stuff.
yeah, that's true. But at least he's different from.
He
others.
does it. He doesn't do it as much as Kimmel and
Yeah,
because
not at
they're
all.
playing
that
the
seems
ping
fair.
pong games.
Exactly, and
Which
that's
is
something.
really
which is
fucking
something.
stupid for
It's
another.
It's still
terrible.
stupid, but at least
Oh,
it's something.
but the worst. He actually isn't that political, but James Corden.
Dude, that's just.
That's the worst
I've
one.
honestly never even seen. I know what he looks like.
He's the
but
guy
I've
that
never
does
even-
the
I
driving
know
around
what he
karaoke.
looks
I've seen
like,
a
but I've
little
never
bit,
seen
but I've just mostly
the
seen the
show.
carpool karaoke's, and that is the worst thing that ever happened to talk shows. Is that
That's like I don't even know what to call that kind of talk show. It's
What's
just
his
filled with
shit
gimmicks.
show?
What's his
It's
show?
just
the
filled
Late
with
Late
gimmicks.
Show?
Oh god.
It wasn't like his thing. There were people before him, but he made it into something
Cordon.
ugly. James Corden, you son of a bitch! You ruined my Late Show.
Is there any late show thing that you enjoy?
Anything sacred? Conan O'Brien.
Yeah,
Conan's
Conan.
good.
Conan's just.
I don't really watch because some of the shows, and it's not always good because they do it every day, like
Oh, I never watch episodes
Yeah.
of Conan. I'll watch YouTube clips of Conan
Yeah.
doing, whatever he does.
And usually what they post on YouTube is pretty great.
You know what it
that's
might
why I
be?
usually don't. I just don't bother with the show. It's like, I'll just watch.
You
the
know
best
what?
stuff
You
that
know what
comes
it
in.
might be. I think the reason why Conan is actually good is because he's actually funny.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
I
Yeah,
think
that
honestly,
he's
I
actually a
think
funny
that's all it is
person.
because he's an actually funny person.
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't gotten canceled though, just because it's such
Yeah.
a popular, the late shows and all that are such a popular network that they really have to pander the common denominator a lot.
Yeah, but Conan is on a smaller network.
Yeah, I
So,
think and he got fired off of
CBS.
Yeah, he got fired off.
That makes sense.
Well, he was
But yeah, didn't he do He did the Late Show at one
yeah,
point.
he did
Yeah,
he did the Tonight Show and then
Yeah,
the
Tonight
Late Show
yeah.
at NBC, and he got fired.
Because he was funny, probably.
Yeah, probably because he was funny, and
Yeah.
and his sense of humor is so unique. It's so different compared.
That's
to...
why it
Weird
works with
guy.
TBS because it's it's a smaller network,
Not a
so
lot of
they're
pressure.
not. They don't want
To him,
like
they're
NBC numbers. They're not expecting
Yeah.
millions and millions, like ridiculous numbers. They just want Conan to bring in what he can, like, you know, like a solid, and it's like he has a following, and it's like there's enough people that want to see him that like he can still get like enough numbers to where the network is happy, you know, because that's all they want. They're not expecting, and that's why like you start to pander and stuff, because you want to reach the biggest market, you want to get as many viewers as possible, and that's why all those shows are crap, and that's why Conan is still good.
Yeah,
It's sad though, because it's not even their fault. It's just like people's fault. It's just everybody. Like those shows wouldn't be making money. if People weren't watching them, but everybody fucking.
That's the
watches
problem
them.
with Hollywood. Like all these shitty movies wouldn't exist if people didn't go out. Like Transformers wouldn't exist if it wasn't making billions of dollars and people were, you know, being stupid and going watching those instead of, I don't know, anything other than Transformers.
Yeah. Well,
Especially you, China.
yeah, we're looking at you, China. you guys. Yeah, I and also like and Stephen Colbert, like I just know he's definitely got like talent, but it's just the way things are. I don't know.
No, that's completely true. It's just the way things are. Like he can't even do anything. Like
also podcasts are really they're like really what's killing talk shows, definitely.
yeah.
Because everyone, because back then in the, 80s, 70s, 90s, talk shows were all we got,
Yeah.
So we're getting to know those people, like that's all you get.
Yeah, it's like
Now there's
2 minutes
multiple
on.
sources.
Yeah. But now you get a 2-hour-long podcast with, I don't know, fucking...
Or even like an interview or anything that's just like, put on YouTube. Like,
exactly.
There's so many different outlets
So
now. So you don't even have to rely on that anymore. They're worthless. They don't even do anything. Like, what are they bringing to TV? What are they doing? Nothing.
It's
They're
just...
coasting off past momentum and
Exactly.
eventually they're gonna
And they have celebrities on, so people come to watch something.
Yeah, I guess the only thing with podcasts is you can't watch like Emma Stone play beer pong with Jimmy Fallon.
But
so
who wants to see that?
No,
apparently
I mean,
like half of
what
America.
the fuck, dude?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably right. And
The bar has been set so low that we get so much shit nowadays.
Also,
that's what
there's-
I'm understanding.
there's so many talk shows where, like, back in the day, it was like 3, and they just meant so much more.
Yeah.
Where now it's like there's, so many, like so fucking many, and it's like,
Any dipshit with the tuxedo can have a talk show these days.
yeah, where it's like,
Like, how does Trevor Noah have a show?
yeah, who watches him anymore?
He is easily one of the least
Anymore, I
funny
don't
talk shows.
Yeah, you don't
Never
really like
seen
him.
it.
Yeah,
I've seen
never
like
seen him
maybe
do
I
like
haven't-
2 or 3 episodes.
I don't think I've ever watched a whole episode. I think I've just kind of seen.
I've definitely
it, like,
seen a couple
never
episodes.
even seen him
Just
do
because I
his
heard
thing.
his name and I'm like,
Oh, you gotta
maybe
watch
he's
him
good.
crack it open, man. He goes all in.
Yeah, maybe I should just get a
I
vibe
don't know.
of this.
Oh
dude.
yeah, Trevor. No, he's so new holds barred with his comedy.
No, he would hate it because it's the behind the desk,
Oh yeah. I won't even
You didn't like
touch
Colbert
those
Report,
anymore.
or did
But
you
the
ever
thing
really
is,
watch
like,
it?
I mean, I've seen clips, but just I don't like that setup, man. I don't like when you're giving me information. Like,
Well,
Jesus
that
Jon
Christ.
Stewart and
It's so painful. Well, with the Colbert,
That's how I experience
Well,
those
the-
shows.
well,
It's
the
a lot
Col-
of pain.
the Colbert Report, he's like doing a character. He's like a Republican conservative guy.
Still,
I
dude,
think,
like,
it's
Jon
I don't
Stewart and
it's
him-
not the content even; it's the setup. It's
The
just I
format?
can't get past. Yeah, the format. It makes me sick.
Jon Stewart and Colbert, they would have like interesting views, and they would also have like really good jokes.
Yes.
Trevor Noah has neither of those, so
Yeah.
it's like, what does he bring to the table? How does he have a show?
Yep.
I don't understand.
Yeah, there's.
He's a handsome fellow.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy. That's true.
Yeah, but he's not like.
He's talk show level. I see that.
Mm-hmm. Samantha Bee's terrible.
Used to love
At
Samantha
least she's
Bee.
standing,
I
right?
I thought she was funny on Daily Show, but now it's just. Ugh.
She stands up.
I was
Yeah.
I was annoyed from the second I saw that movie thing.
Yeah, that was terrible.
What movie did we see that at?
I remember.
do
That was so
remember
long ago.
that. Yeah.
That's how I know about it. I'm always
Yeah,
gonna
dude, that's
remember
where I
it as
first
that.
heard about
Yeah.
it too.
Ooh, that was rough.
We just kept making fun of Samantha
Fuck
Bee.
Samantha Bee.
And I was like, oh, she's good.
Yeah, we're like, fuck you, Greg.
But
Fuck
yeah,
Samantha
no,
Bee.
yeah, that was terrible. That was. Ooh.
I don't like Natasha Leggero. I still don't like her. I've never liked
I mean,
her.
she's
I think
just stand-up.
awful.
She's not.
But still, she's in the same vein.
She's.
And I know you
fine.
like her.
I don't.
liked her.
I mean, I don't. I think she's fine.
I've heard the name before for sure, but I don't know exactly who this is.
It's not important.
I'm not gonna let you
She's
decide.
not
Yeah, look
important.
her up.
I don't.
Would I recognize her?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like
think
her
so.
on
I feel like
podcasts.
she's in
I don't know.
movies
She's
and stuff.
fine. She's no Amy Shum Shum, but you know, who can be?
That's fair.
Love her.
You know that movie?
Amy Schumer's a queen. Sorry. that's gonna be the. I hope I don't forget this. That's gonna be the bio for this video. The description.
Rebel Wilson.
Is it
She's
queen?
She's queen.
Yeah. Right.
She's a queen who can slay.
That's perfect.
Thank you. Drop the mic.
She's a queen who can slay.
Holy shit. She's a queen who can slay. Oh my fucking god. Is it really fucking hot in here or is it just me?
I'm pretty okay.
It's not that bad, but it's still a little toasty. It's getting
I might be
misty.
having
It
some
usually
sort of
gets
fever.
much worse.
I've got a fever.
Fever.
Fever bot 9,000. My temperature.
Love when he does this. Oh, so good.
Do you guys
the
remember that
measles.
one movie that came out in the 2000s
Oh, really?
with Justin Timberlake
No, I don't
where
really
About time.
yeah,
Was it called?
no, it's called Time or something.
And that's
We're
the
like-
next movie we're watching.
Hell
My pick.
fucking no. Are you
About
serious?
time,
I think
about
about great.
time.
No.
You're
Time?
up, right?
I
Oh,
didn't
no,
know.
are you
I
up?
am up.
Oh.
But still, that
I'm a little
Time movie.
torn.
Torn between what?
Well, let's hold
Let's
it off.
transition into it.
All right.
Wait, what?
We could just
next movie.
We don't have. This doesn't have to be at the end.
Yeah, what is the next movie?
This is tough. But this. I don't think you guys know this movie, but I think it's.
Snooze fest. I've seen all the movies I'd like
The
to
last
see.
time you showed
Wow.
us a movie we don't know. Turn out to be ass.
Well, you guys knew that. I
What
mean, like
movie
you've
was
never,
it?
you haven't
Batman.
heard of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the movie sucked.
It definitely was disappointing for me, and I was surprised. I thought Michael Keaton was so great, but it was like he's just
No, he
barely
didn't do anything.
used.
He's barely even in it. Yeah.
Like in my head, I guess I just thought like, oh, it's Michael Keaton, Batman. It's like, it's got to be good. But
Like whenever I just look back at the movie, I just think
And
about
people
that.
say
I think
he's-
about that costume. Just
yeah, and people say he's the best Batman. And now after
Absolutely
rewatching this, I completely 100% think Christian Bale is the best by far.
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's not even close. I
No.
mean, Adam West was a completely different thing. It's a different
Yeah.
character almost.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
can't compare that.
Ben Affleck maybe could have been something.
he
if,
could
like, you know,
have
they knew
if
how to
he-
write a movie.
If he just, yeah,
It was not his fault. It was they don't know how to write a movie.
no. So I think Christian Bale. So yeah, Michael Keaton was just like, oh, I mean, he's got he's Michael Keaton, so it was like, nice to see him, but
Mm-hmm.
Like your aunt around the holidays.
he's family, so I gotta like him a little.
I mean, I love him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Nice to see him. Jesus Christ, man. Chill
Well,
out.
but yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen a movie and be like, oh, it's nice to see. It's never happened.
I mean, I think I have that.
Oh, you
Anyway,
can watch,
what
you
movie-
can watch
what-
Chronicle if you want.
I want to do that with Steve. He seemed very amped about it.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
That was, yeah.
I
Felt
think
weird.
that's the only movie that that main character where what's his name?
I have no idea what his actor's name, but in the movie his name is Andrew.
I think that's the only movie he's good in because he was in Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh,
I think that's
Beyond
Dane
Place-
DeHaan.
Dane DeHaan.
Oh,
yeah.
he's in
Place-
Place Behind.
Yeah, he's pretty good in that movie.
Dehan behind.
Jesus.
Place
man.
Dane Don behind.
Holy
Amazing
shit.
Spider-Man 2. I just think about that.
That was the movie's fault. I mean, he
Yeah.
didn't do well, but I mean,
His
how could
acting
he do?
was so bad.
Dude, he had like fucking green ooze on his face and pointy ears.
He had the green ooze at the very last scene. He had plenty more scenes before that, and he was so
Why
bad.
didn't you ooze more, Dane DeHaan? I would have turned my TV on.
Oh,
Okay. Dane DeHaan, I don't like you, but you're good in Chronicle.
Dane DeHaan, I hate your guts, but god damn it, you're good in Chronicle.
I gotta respect what you did for that movie, man. Yeah, and we might not see eye to eye on a lot of shit, Dane DeHaan. But when you're right, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
you are right today, my friend.
I was watching Chronicle and I was just reminded how right you are, my friend.
Baby!
MBJ's in that movie
Dane
too.
DeHaan!
See, that's Dane DeHaan overshadows him so much more.
MBJ? MBJ?
Yeah!
Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh yeah, Michael
Really?
B. Jordan.
Yeah,
No,
Michael B. Jordan's
I don't know
in it.
why.
Michael B. Jordan's the main character.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
pretty good
Love
at it.
him.
The
He's
main
no.
character.
What's his
Is that
name?
what you said?
Montgomery?
Did
What
you
is
say
it?
he's the main character?
He said he's one of
Who's
the
the
main
other?
characters.
Oh,
That's
Miles
correct.
Teller's the other one, right?
Nope.
Nope.
It's,
Really?
it's some
He's just
nobody.
some dude. He was good at that. He
Oh.
actually did pretty decent.
Why did I could have? Oh, I thought it was Miles Teller.
He kind of.
I guess I was thinking Fantastic
I thought
Four.
he kind of looks like him. Maybe.
I think I was just
Well,
thinking.
he's a white
I think
guy
he
with
looks more
black-
like
he
Chris
has dark
Evans.
hair.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking Fantastic Four. That's why. Yeah. Oh,
Those movies
And then
are not
who's the
same.
chick?
These
I
do
forgot
not
who the
compare
chick
those
was.
they're directed by the same guy.
Well, that guy must have
That's
had a traumatic brain injury in between the two.
He did. He was like an
Coming out.
alcoholic
That
on the
makes a lot
set or
of sense,
something.
actually.
He like he was I don't know.
Oh yeah, did he make Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No.
No, wait, what did...
He made Fantastic Four. And
That's
Chronicle.
right. I'm like,
He was gonna make a Boba Fett movie, but he got fired. Awkward.
that's probably good, because
Yeah.
that movie shouldn't be made.
Yeah, no, we don't need it. He's cool, but I don't want to.
What do you mean he was cool? He was
How
cool.
did you not understand what Greg said?
You know,
No, he was cool.
not everyone. I understood. He was cool. Oh, maybe Dane DeHaan can be, I guess, someday. Fingers
Maybe Han
crossed.
can be Boba Fett.
Yes! I want to see that movie so bad. And just change the character's name, change Boba Fett's name to Dane DeHaan, and make the movie Dane DeHaan, the Star Wars story.
Dane DeHaan, the Star Wars
story.
Yes, Dane DeHaan, the Star Wars story. Not a Star Wars story.
He is the biggest word on the poster.
And then it's got the lines in little letters.
Oh!
Watch the shit out of that, man.
So I saw this
George, I always
Ben 10
envisioned-
live action thing, like
Oh, I watched
I
that
just
as a
stumbled
kid.
upon it. And it was only like an hour 15, so I'm like, I'm kind of in the mood for a bad movie, and I started watching that. And I only got to like 40 minutes of it. And I couldn't even finish
It's like more
it.
than half the movie.
Could have a
and I was
long
surpri-
discussion, man.
I
about the
zoned
ending.
out a lot because there was just nothing fucking happening. But
Was that like an older one?
I don't know. No, that was when he's like a teenager.
Oh,
Ben 15. It's called Ben 15.
no fucking
Yeah,
way.
because he's 15 years old.
No
That's
way.
Yes, it is.
It's not called that. It's
It's
called
a
Ben
live
10.
action, and this dude was like, he looked like he was 22. But
All right, so
Did you say,
yeah, the movie was bad. If I did.
I remember watching the one when he's a kid, like forever ago.
The
but I fell
cartoon?
asleep. I was so
yeah, we all watched it.
No.
Not
There was a
special.
live action when I was a kid, and I remember it
that
being
cartoon was good.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
cartoon
such a great
was so
concept,
great.
such a good show.
Yeah, great way to keep a show
Yeah,
fresh,
genius
keep a
way,
different
genius
monster all the
way
time.
for and then for toys too. It's like
That
you're
was
gonna,
huge.
you know, great
God, whoever
idea.
made that was fucking
Good
on
idea. That's
one.
like on the level. It wasn't as big, but it was on the level
They
of
were
good ideas
on
like
one.
That's
Pokemon.
the iPad and shit.
You know, Steve Jobs actually executive produced Ben 10.
If he did,
we were
holy,
just fucking
put
thinking.
that man's brain on ice. Crack that open when we
Yeah.
need to solve global warming.
iPhone. Yeah. What? I don't give a shit. Give me Ben 10.
Dude figured out how to, oh my god, make a great show with great marketing value.
Yes. Oh my God, Steve Jobs.
It's more like Steve.
Steve. That's a number that rhymes.
Steve 16. Steve 23.
No, I haven't seen Ben 10, but I've seen. I used to love Steve 6'3". I used to love that one.
It's kind of like a knockoff, but it was pretty good.
Steve 6'3". I'm Steve 6'3".
Steve.
He pronounces it wrong every time.
Do you have like a lisp or something?
It's Steve
No.
6'3". I could turn into 6'3" aliens.
6'3".
What? 63? No, 6'3". Ooh. All right. Jesus Christ.
Oh! Rango.
Rango.
Oh, that's on my list. Rango, baby.
Wait, is that the one with? It's like a
Rango?
Johnny Depp Lizard, dude. I heard that's like an amazing movie. Surprisingly,
Really?
I think Steve
I
likes
was
it.
very shocked to hear that.
All I know is that he's in the desert. That's Johnny Depp's voicing.
Yeah.
the lizard?
He's
And just seeing some of the images, I mean, the animation looks one of a kind for sure.
I remember. Yeah, it had a very interesting look.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Wes Anderson kind of feel.
Yeah. That's a good.
I gotta watch more of his movies.
Yeah, I know. Reno loves them, and I know a lot of people just love like Hot Fuzz and all that other shit.
Oh no, that's not.
That's not Wes. Oh no, Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel. And
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. There we go. Back on track.
I watched the one with Bill Murray. It was really weird, but really cool and
Okay.
good. He's like the visual.
He's the visual guy. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you would love this one. Life
I mean,
Aquatic.
Grand Budapest was.
I've always wanted to see that. Yeah, that looks so fucking cool. Like
The story I wasn't that into, but like,
Yeah, but just-
visually, holy, that was. one
Life
of a kind,
Aquatic
one of a
with
kind.
Steve Zissou. That you gotta check that out. It's like it's so unique, and just the visuals and going underwater, and it's just such a cool. And a lot of the soundtrack is like these like Portuguese guy doing David Bowie songs in like Portuguese, but it's like it's better than David Bowie. Honestly, it's
Oh,
so
really?
fucking. It's the soundtrack's amazing.
Yeah, there's so many directors that
Shit.
I would like to get more into.
Yeah.
Like I still haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, that's
See,
Great
there's-
movie.
yeah. It is like kind of annoying though. Like the people, like it's like anyone who quotes it is always like, ugh.
Yeah, just ignore that and just watch
Just
the movie.
ignore
Yeah, but it is a great movie. It's definitely one of the best.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but Quentin Tarantino. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. It's definitely up there.
yeah, I mean, I just
I just like when like a director has a style, you know?
Oh yeah, he's totally got a style.
I just think that's what like because the director has the most amount of control, and like when you have a good director, like you're just bound to make a good movie. That's why like other than M. Night Shyamalan, like Chris Nolan, they just have such a name because they consistently can make such good movies.
yeah, it's I really like a lot, and I think there's not a lot of like directors where people like, oh, I gotta see like this movie because this director, like that's not really around as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Christopher Nolan.
The best movies.
I think Christopher Nolan people definitely, and then Quentin Tarantino.
Michael
I don't know.
Bay, we can put him aside.
No, I think
Michael, but I mean Michael Bay he's just all about the visuals. That's
Yeah.
all he cares about. All he cares about is IMAX. That's all he cares about. IMAX, Transformers.
maybe James Cameron, but it's been so long since he's come
hasn't
out with
made a movie in
anything.
God knows how long. Yeah.
But yeah, there aren't that many. I think Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, that make a lot of money. That like, oh, this is a Christopher Nolan movie. I gotta go see it. There's not that much.
But like you like Wes Anderson, like he has his
Yeah,
own style.
But his isn't to the scale of Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
and
you know, but I'm
Quentin
just saying, like-
Tarantino, where it's not making that much money.
because the director just has the most amount of control. If you can get a good director, you're gonna make most likely gonna make a good movie. If the script is fucked up and if the studio's controlling it, then you're screwed. But
You got the British Terabithia writers screwing it up for
but
everyone.
now the thing is the director role has in Hollywood has just become so dime a dozen. You'll just have
a
random
corporate
people.
shill.
Yeah, it's like there's just this dude that's there, some nobody. He just does movies to get a paycheck, and
A lot of the lesser Marvel movies are that
oh
way,
my god, and it's just crap.
where they just get some Joe Schmo who did Breaking Bad for one episode. fucking kidding me? I know you're not what made that show great.
He is that. Oh, did you see the Breaking Bad movie trailer?
I didn't want to watch it. I want to watch the movie, but I don't know.
I mean, the trailer was just a teaser. It was just... Did you hear about this?
I saw it, like,
don't think they should make a movie, but I'm
it.
open to it being good, you know? I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, the teaser, it's just Skinny Pete, and he's just giving some dialogue. It's just a teaser, like I said. There might have been another trailer that came out, but I didn't see that one. And I don't want to see that, because it comes out...
really soon, right?
October 14th? Or no, 11th. Something like that. It's somewhere in that range. That's another thing that's coming out in October. That's a very good movie.
Yeah, October is going to be a kick-ass month.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it's all in the front end, too. A lot of it's in the front end.
Because this year has been kind of a stinker.
Yeah,
there have not been that good
this year.
I don't think last year was that great.
I think last year was really good. You
had
had
what came out
mid-90s, 8th grade.
Okay, never mind.
Holy shit, those two alone
last
were
year,
fucking fantastic.
Yep.
And then...
the Halloween movie was last year?
Yeah, the Halloween movie was so fucking good. And what else was there? There was some... shit.
We're talking about 2018 if you guys are watching.
Yeah,
this.
2018.
2026 or something.
I think
Blade Runner 2099.
That was 2017. And that... I think 2017 is the best...
2017 was,
I think the best year in, like, the teens of the decades of movies. I think 2017 killed it.
I think I've told you, when I was going through my music playlist, 2017 was like...
Like, what?
It was like incredible how much like amazing shit came out.
There was some, yeah.
Yeah. So 2017 overall, great year.
Yes.
One of the best of the teens.
One of the best of the teens. My favorite teen is 17. No. That's not.
Your favorite teenager is a 17-ager?
17.
A 17-year-old or like a 7 younger teenager?
7 teenagers.
Like 7 13-agers.
What are you talking about, man? It's such a good year for movies.
7 13, that doesn't add up.
It doesn't have to add. I'm saying 7 13.
It doesn't add up. Just drop it.
It needs to add up.
7 13-year-olds adds up to 7. So yeah, it does add up.
Sounds like a party.
Why are you multiplying them?
Dude, chill, man. I mean, Logan was so good.
Logan came out in 2017?
Yes.
Yeah, Logan hit.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Big Sick was really good.
Homecoming?
Damn,
Homecoming was...
Man.
Marvel, really. Ragnarok 2, Jesus Christ.
Ragnarok! Remember we kept saying
that was one of my favorite movie-going experiences.
Who took his hammer?
We were annoying everyone. Everyone hated us.
I think that was one of my favorite movies.
I think Courtney's sister was sitting nearby us.
And
she did not. She looked mad.
Yeah. A lot of people were upset, but where did his hammer go?
Yeah, where the fuck? She break it?
I've seen
did
the
she
movie
break
like
it?
3 times, and I still don't know where the fuck that guy's hammer went.
Oh man, where the fuck is he?
Oh, you know a couple movies that I need to see. Bruno and Borat.
Oh wow, you
crap.
haven't seen.
I mean, I saw Borat, but I mean, I don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember shit.
I've kind of been.
I don't
know.
I've
I'm
only
very
seen
interested.
parts of Borat. I've never seen Borat all the way through.
I don't think.
I mean, that's basically what the movie.
Part of me
is.
wants to pick it, but I don't. I don't think it'd be a good
fine.
one to talk about.
Well,
I don't think it'd be good for a podcast.
That, I kind of want to watch, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, this would just be fun to watch. Like, this is not a podcast movie.
Yeah,
I would love to talk about Borat and Bruno. Are you kidding?
Well,
we've never seen it,
and
so.
it's not.
I know,
mean,
but I feel like I'd have a lot to say.
We're just. I mean, I think there's like maybe 20 minutes of a lot to say, and then the rest would be like, oh, that was funny, that was funny.
Yeah, a lot of the comedies I feel like
yeah.
I've thought of like a couple of good comedies I want to watch, but I'm like, I can't do it for the podcast because a lot of movies are gonna be like, this was funny.
Yeah. I think that's
not really good.
My favorite genre of movies. I think there's nothing better than going to see a comedy in a theater, especially. It's like, this is great, but those movies aren't very. A lot of them just there's not much to discuss.
I don't know. It's just because
Except for
Sacha
certain
Baron
ones.
Cohen is just. Like, no one else pulls that off.
No, they are
that
amazing.
So I
Bruno's...
just feel like I would just have... Especially, like... Oh, man, like Bruno's just all about, like, tearing down, like, that, like, stereotypes of just, like, gay people and just kind of, like, showing you, like, how just, like, ridiculous it is and stuff. And it's, like, there's so much, like, commentary with, like, a lot of, like, the Borat and, like, Bruno stuff because it's like in Borat, like he exposes people. Like,
oh yes.
You know, in Borat, like they told people that he was just like some like foreigner and that they were doing this documentary. Yep. So like on camera, they would just catch people saying the most foul and just like awful shit. And it's just like sometimes it's like, you know, big people, like they had I think it was in Bruno, they had what's the chick that judged the American Idol, what's her name?
Tina Fey. We know what you did, Tina Fey.
No, not Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, we know you're homophobic.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul. She was like, so Borat got like 2 immigrant Mexican workers to like sit on because he didn't have like chairs or something.
Yeah.
And then so she sits on this immigrant and she sits there and he asks him like, oh, what do you think? Do you think it's important to be like a humanitarian?
Oh, yeah.
Humanitarian, and it's good to help people and stuff.
Oh, fuck,
and then she was like,
about
yeah,
that.
like being a humanitarian, like that's my no. She was like, that's my whole life. Like that. Like she was talking about it like it's in every fiber of her being. Like that's how important this shit is to her. And she's sitting, and it's not like, oh, she was set up and it was like a scene or anything. No, like no one knew who even like Borat really was. They just got on the camera, dude. So you just expose person after person.
Yeah.
Like this one guy was talking about like gay people and like how he's talking to Borat and he's talking about like gay people and it's like and Borat was like, oh yeah, in my country like they have like, you know, them get like, you know, executed, you know, like, you know, these guys that like, you know, frolic in the fields because that's what the one guy said. And he's like, yeah, that's what we're trying to do in this country. That's what we're trying to get implemented and stuff. And it's just like you just catch them. And that's what's so great about it. Just so, like, just such a mind fuck that, like, I feel like I would have a lot to say.
Those movies.
But I do is
that's what this new show's like a lot, too, isn't
it? The new show is just as good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so
He's just
fucking
exposing,
great.
like, politicians
Oh,
and
my
shit.
God. The O.J.
He's
Simpson
genius.
interview is fucking incredible. By far the best one was the Roy Moore pedophile one. With the
pedophile censor or whatever.
Yeah, when he just I mean that was fucking genius and that's one of the best things ever. That was like incredible.
Wow, dude.
That was so good.
That he's amazing. That guy and then
he needs a Medal of Honor or something.
He did get like a Charlie I showed you guys. He did get like a Charlie Chaplin award and then he's like fake dancing on the cane and the cane broke and he pushed this lady under a wheelchair and she collapsed and like this was the best accepted speech of all time. And she dies and he's great.
Yeah, and like I always just thought of Borat and like Bruno just to be just like a reaction kind of thing. Like they were just trying to like get
like Jackass.
But no, it is much deeper than that.
What's it called?
Well, Bad Grandpa.
That's what I was thinking of. Yes, Bad Grandpa.
Like get out of here. Like no one can do it that well.
I mean, it's been a while. I was like in 8th grade with Bad Grandpa. I remember it being funny, but I don't know if it hold up, but it's just...
I was never...
Yeah, I know Bad Grandpa would hold up, but Jackass is actually really good.
Yeah, I like Jackass.
Jackass is pretty fucking great.
Like the raw Jackass?
Yeah, like the actual, like Jackass.
Yeah.
Not Bad Grandpa, I mean Jackass.
Yeah.
Jackass is amazing. I fucking love Jackass. We might watch a Jackass movie, but keep it going.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, we might. That might be my next pick, but we'll see.
Like,
I really don't think there'd be anything to talk about with that.
Yeah. This is worse than Borat. There's not that much. There's even less.
That's even less.
Even less.
We'll see. Just
Borat's got the social commentary.
Yeah.
I think you'd be surprised.
And like Borat's doing like something clever. I mean, at least in Jackass, they're just finding clever ways to...
It's entertaining and it's funny and I like it, but...
I think it's deeper than you guys
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite ones is when he swallows a goldfish, like, and then he yaks it up.
I don't remember that.
You remember that, Steve-O? Yeah, he like just like swallows a fish like, you know, all the way down, and they're trying to vomit it back out and see if it still lives. And it did. That was the weirdest part. It surprisingly did for like 2 minutes, and then it died.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's a good one because I'm like, that's creative.
Yeah.
No one's doing that shit in shows anymore. No one does that.
You can nowadays.
Well, I mean, they did have like the biggest wave of copycats ever after they started doing their thing.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Oh my god.
But yeah, people.
Why didn't we grab onto that wave?
Yeah, why didn't we fucking do Jackass? Dude, let's drop out of college and do Jackass.
Jackass going again. Yeah! Jackass.
I think there's a market out there for it.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess.
Yeah, there's a kind of a Jackass vacuum going on right now.
Well, I think like this is very different, but at the same time, it's got a similar vibe as like Eric Andre's show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just it's very different, but also there's a lot similar. I think that's the closest thing right
similar
now.
elements,
Chaotic element.
And especially, and he's doing some crazy shit that you would not want to do. I mean,
yeah, but Eric is more concentrated on the comedy part.
Yeah.
And
that's a
Jackass is more on the entertaining side.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
That's why I would give.
I can't think of anything else though.
And I think the comedy like takes some. They have to be pretty clever with it in order for it to work.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
So that's why I think it's harder, and I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think Jackass is harder in a different way.
Yeah, it's harder in a much different way.
Oh, you know
They're
what?
two very different skill sets.
Yeah.
I do really want to rewatch the finale of Nathan For You again.
Ooh,
That's
so good.
one of the best things ever.
Oh, I saw it recently.
Really?
When it was not like recently, like it was maybe like 5-6 months ago when I was just like, watching all of Nathan For You.
Mm-hmm.
And like I got to the end, so I mean obviously I was gonna watch it and watch it again. And it's great, yeah.
Oh, you just made it sound like you really gonna like it.
Great, yeah. Of course it's great. Of course it's
okay.
fucking
You were
great.
building up. I thought. I was like, really? But yeah, that's. Yeah.
That shit was deep. It had layers.
Yeah, one of the best shows of all time.
Yep.
Okay, Nathan For You is better than Game of Thrones.
It's just so consistent. It's just so
I'm
consistent.
sorry. That's
That's
true.
hard to
Really
ignore.
is.
Yeah.
There's no episode that's entirely a miss,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, some of the ideas are, like, funnier than others, but there's no...
But
Yeah,
that's why
that's
he has
gonna
2
happen.
in one, so it's like even if one is not good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like the thing is usually
That's what I'm saying,
they're
there's
both
never
good.
an entire episode that's a miss.
Oh my god. I definitely want to rewatch that show.
It's all on Hulu.
Yep. Ooh yeah. Ooh.
Are you watching anything right now?
The On Cinema and there's a new season happening. I didn't think there would be. Well, I'm really excited.
On Cinema?
Yeah. And
I remember when I woke up at Kent last week, it was the Hobbit episode.
oh yeah.
And it's the perfect thing to wake up to. Because
What
it's
a-
like every line. It's like every single line that, Greg said in that was,
Just
wow. It was just one after the other. He
It's
was
a
just
gem.
on fire.
yeah, just I was very disappointed with this movie. Disappointed that it didn't come out sooner. I love this movie. And then it's Christmas episode. It's like The Hobbit is the ultimate Christmas movie, and that it's a gift to the audience. It's just so.
I'm so, and I swear in the
He's a
entire
genius,
episode,
dude.
he just had one of those like every other line. It was too good.
And he's there's this part where I love how the Decker show intertwines. Like you can't watch one without the other. I realize because there's so many jokes in Decker that are on cinema related, and there's like this part where I just kind of watched like a clip where Decker, I guess he thinks his Kingston's videotapes are hacked or something, and he burns them all, but he's actually burning them. And Greg Turking is there, and he's actually reacting like in real life. Like you wouldn't think that if you didn't see on cinema, but he's actually like. And he like actually starts kind of like crying a little, and it's like holy shit! It's like the first time you see him in that way, and it wasn't full out. It was just kind of a subtle, like a voice crack, but it was so like good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god!
Holy
He
shit.
kept burning them. It was a huge thing. Yeah, that's also another show that's better than Game of Thrones in my opinion. Holy shit! Yeah, I could. That was.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna get into that show.
I just love.
It's just such a commitment, man. I don't know if I'm that interested.
Yeah, also, I had to get HBO.
Oh, it's not on HBO. It's on YouTube.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Oh.
Game of Thrones is not on YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
what
know.
the
Oh,
fuck?
okay.
I was
No, I
talking
thought you-
about Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no. I mean, and the ending was kind of so I think that's also.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about that last season.
I thought it's fine. It was rushed, but it could have been.
The main thing that like, I just feel like, kind of just throws that whole show off is that the books, like the show surpassed the books,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the main problem right there.
But there were the highs of Game of Thrones are like Breaking Bad level. Like there's some really fucking amazing shit that happens. Mm-hmm. But there are more lows than like Breaking Bad never really had it.
No.
Game of Thrones had some near the end where it's like, oh, they're just
Breaking
clearly
Bad,
run out of ideas.
The only flaw, or like the only like time it really slows down is the third season, where they're
some of the family
Fring.
stuff. Yeah, just get.
Where they're just afraid of Fring, and then it's just that.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah, that too.
They're just terrified of Fring, and they just plan to kill him, and they just plan. And it rode off of 2, because 2 already kind of touched on that. But still, they did the third season well, so I'm not even complaining. But it's just, that's the only point where it might have kind of.
I think that was the 4th season.
Was it the 4th season? Yeah, the 4th season.
I gotta rewatch that show. But also, like, I feel like maybe
there's a back-to-back Gustavo season.
Some of the
back-to-back.
I think
it's 3.
Mm-hmm. I think rewatching it, some of the beginning might seem kind of slow because you know where it goes. And
no,
you just
I
want
loved
to
it.
get there.
I loved the first season.
First season was pretty good. I think I definitely watched the whole first season straight through, honestly.
Because when I watched it the first time, I know that I thought the first season was slow, but going back and actually watching it now, the first season not slow at all. It's just so engaging because it's the origin, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You see him like before any of it,
and I just like seeing him, because then they're just still small and like, you know, there's a charm to that when they're just like in these like low level trying to build themselves up.
That's
it just
true.
had charm to it, yeah.
And they feel so like vulnerable, like they feel like they
because there's like regular people getting into the drug game.
Because
you really feel like the tension, because it's like because it really builds up. It's like, all right, this is just some guy. Like this could just be like me. Like if like this is what I would do.
Yeah.
But like the 5th season, it's like he's like an international criminal.
Like it's intense as shit, and it's arguably even more intense. But at the same time, there is like he kind of knows what he's doing now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about like.
That's why they keep like upping the threats though too. Yeah. And it's so. Ooh.
And I think that's another reason why like season 4 is just kind of like. It can kind of get into a lull, is because in each season they like level up.
Yeah.
They level up, and so by the third, like they got with Gus, and they leveled up to that point. And then in 4th, they're still in that same spot. And then in 5th, he goes like they kept upping it. And then in the 4th, they were just too focused on Gus, and it was just all about killing him. But it was
when
still
they
good. It was
finally
still great,
pull it off, it does make it even more rewarding.
And that's why it still works, because like
you're like, oh, come on, let's do this. And then when they do, it's like there's an extra oomph to it. It's
exactly.
Like,
the build up was absolutely worth it.
Oh, yeah, that I don't think anything will top that. It's gonna be real hard. That is the show, you know.
The show.
I do kind of want to watch Sopranos, though. I don't know. Kind of in the mood for something like that.
I watched the first season when my mom was going through it. I was watching it, and it was good. Like whatever, like the first season that I saw, it was very good. It was very intense, and I think that mob thing kind of works. I don't know if it works better.
It doesn't work now. Nowadays, the mob just doesn't work with like cell phones
but it
and
worked.
the internet.
It definitely worked, and I don't even know. I don't know what about it works. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Can we start to wrap this up?
Mm-hmm. I do like that our Bridge to Terabithia is our longest episode. I think I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, we did well.
Yes. So, the next movie, I don't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you never even. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I see what you did there. Uh-huh. We asked you for an answer, and you just diverted it, and you never gave us an answer.
The Oscars or something. You distracted us.
Hey, I you know.
Are you doing it again? What's the? You're not gonna give me twice with this trick.
It's starring. I like to hype them up.
Okay.
It's starring two greats they're both weirdos, and them side by side. I think it's gonna be entertaining. No. It's a movie called Face Off. Do you know?
Face Off.
I've heard it's really like crazy and like fun. It's like a 90s action movie starring John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, and they like
what the fuck?
Yeah, and they like switch faces.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
And I've heard it's really entertaining, and I think it'll be. I've heard a lot of great things. I think Reno really loves it.
Okay.
I think. And I think it's gonna be a really fun one. It seems like it's gonna be really a good podcast one.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you hear about the new John Travolta movie?
Yeah, that looks
John
so
Travolta
fucking...
came out with the movie
Oh
and
my
he made
God.
$3,000.
Well, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that? It was like $3,400. That's how much that movie raked in.
Holy
$3,400.
shit.
Like it's like astronomically low.
That's
Oh my God.
insane.
Whoa! I mean, if you saw the trailer, you would know why.
I didn't know anything about the movie. I just saw him in that his makeup
Look up
and stuff.
a picture. Of him. He looks ridiculous. He's like a creepy serial killer guy, but it's just doesn't work with John Travolta. And his hair is the weirdest haircut I've ever seen in my
phone's
life.
dead.
I probably can look it up while we're still.
Fast.
Yeah, well, I realize I'm looking up a picture. We might as well end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's some news for you.
That's some news
That's
for
the
you.
news for you.
John Travolta
is a weirdo.
Making no money anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, that's insane. I did not know that. That's fucking
That's
incredible.
What really blew me away.
Yes, this is a good one.
This was a good one.
Terabithia. Goodbye.